just do from top 10 on down. We're not gonna do the whole top 50, but from 10 to 1.
Oh, won't let me share it.
Honorable though, we can start from 15 because that's when it gets people gonna argue.
I have J. Cole at 15. LL Cool J at 14. We've got Rakim at 13. Andre 3K at 12.
That's a problem.
No problem.
Kanye West at 11.
Okay.
Nicki Minaj at 10, which is absolutely a fucking problem.
Problem.
Okay,
Problem.
we're gonna get
Problem.
back to
Snoop
that.
Dogg
I'm
at
gonna
9. Drake at 8.
Problems.
Lil Wayne at 7.
Problems.
Notorious B.I.G. at 6. Eminem at
Problem for
5.
Problems.
Tupac at 4. Nas at 3. Kendrick Lamar at 2. And
Problems.
of course,
Problem.
Jay-Z at number
I'm
1.
out of here, phone.
Now, MC Light? Are you serious?
MC Light is 2 albums.
MC Light is on the list, but
Bars.
MC Light is very far down.
Give me MC Light top
Are
5
you
songs.
serious?
Give me
Queen
MC Light top 5
Latifah.
songs. Give me her best
Queen
verses.
Latifah.
Right now.
Are you serious?
Give me
Bars.
her best verses. Give it to me. Cause I'm talking about rapping. See,
Okay,
I told you,
so-
I'm
All right.
So here's what I will say.
Hold on, everybody.
So on the
Hold on.
list,
Did somebody? I just
on the list,
Ghostwriter?
MC Light
Are you
is on there,
serious?
but MC Light is in the 30 category.
Hold on,
Queen
right.
Latifah is on the list as well, but she's, I think, in the 30s as well.
She
Lil
should be in
Kim
top
is
20.
on there. Lil Kim is in, I think, the teens or the 20s. So, I know she's got to be in the 20s. So that's kind of the thing. I will say I definitely feel like, for me, Nicki being in the top 10 is absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
That's
But
not my
that's
top
neither
10.
here nor there.
It's a
I'm just being devil's
disgrace.
advocate.
Sorry. It's a disgrace.
But she's not my top 10.
Before we really get too deep into it, I'm already hearing certain things. So for those of you who have your top 10, your personal top 10, if you please feel free to share it at this point. Ski, I'm curious, what's your
You
top
know
10?
his number 1 is Jay-Z.
Always.
I'm
Number
just-
1, Jay.
I'm-
Number
Let
I'm
him have his minute. No, I gotta hear
Pop
this.
is not even in the top 10.
Number 1.
And it don't have to be in no type of order, just the top 10.
No, mine is always in order. 1 is Jay, 2 is Pac, 3 is Nas, 4 is Big, 5 is Slim. I knocked them right out the way. Then
Who's
6,
number 5?
huh?
Who's number 5?
Slim. Shady.
Like Slim
Shady.
Slim
No,
Shady.
shit,
Eminem.
Eminem.
And then
Okay.
after that, then because I put them up there just for they top 5 just for discography alone. And then I go when I do my bottom 5, that's when I start getting to thinking about, all right, we going as far as rapping as writers. Q got to be 6 because Q just had a hell of a pen game that transcended time. Still, Q got to be 6. 7, always better with 7 because Snoop got it. Snoop at 7. Just drop it like that. Snoop at 7 just you can't leave Snoop out the top 10. 8, because we doing rapping. I gotta put Black Thought at 8 because he's a rapper's rapper. So he gotta go 8. 9, Rakim, because Rakim just was a point. Everybody that was before Rakim and everybody after Rakim.
Right.
In 10, this is the toss-up that I always had between. I wanted to give it to Kanye, but Kanye with that one strike because he don't really write. But Kanye makes good music.
Okay.
His discography is good. And then I got 10. Just give me 10 to play it safe, just to do an argument. Give me Scarface.
Okay. Okay. All right. Tawanda, you got your top 10 for us?
Well, I shared my top 10 with you earlier. I respect your top 10. I'm old school to heart, and I'm going to start from where it started. You have to be a lyricist. I have to understand you to even listen to you. I probably stopped listening to rap. I'm going to listen to what Snoop said. I don't care what you write or do after that. I'm not going to respect you. So my top 10, KRS-One, just because of what he represents. Rakim, because he's Rakim. Is when I fell in love with hip-hop. Listening to Rakim. Nas, Ether alone. I'm going to stop right there. Why? He would not ever be on my top 10. Big, Pac, Q, because of his Q. Not only is he a rapper, he's a visionary. Unless he's transcended both. Big Daddy Kane, he was my childhood rap crush, if you will. LL, I know every lyric, probably to I Rock the Bells album. I'm bad. Just that whole album, just stop it. Snoop, because gotta throw in the West Side rapper. Snoop is what Snoop is. Uncle Snoop and Jadakiss, his voice alone. New York Bronx is what it is. Jadakiss, that's my top 10. Female rappers, just because I have to throw in my, if I had to throw in my all-time female rappers, they not in my top 10, but female rappers came along a little later. So MC Light, just because she's light. Missy, she's Missy. Missy and Light, that's about it. I mess with Queen because she's Queen Latifah. She kept me on my conscious thing. But that's it for me.
Okay. So what I'm noticing is all of these different top 10s kind of formulate around our memories, what we would listen to when we were introduced to it. I'm hearing penmanship or the lack thereof. Did anybody think of live show performance? Did anybody factor that in?
Yes. Big Daddy Kane.
Okay, because when I look at hip hop, and I to be honest with you, I don't even think it's fair to really do a top 10 that transcends the whole history of hip hop. If I really had to do it, and I did Project, but I'm just saying, if I really had to look at it, I really would separate it into decades. Like I would start at 1980, 1990, 2000, 2010, and now going into 2020. And I think it's only fair to do it that way, to be honest with you, because as we know, there's not many rappers that can like transcend more than a decade, right? I think longevity is another aspect of it. Like out of the 50 years that we've had hip hop, what does your career say? Does it transcend from one decade to the next? Right? What is your live shows from one decade to the next? So that's kind of the way I looked at it. For me, I also factor in the effect that you had on hip hop as a whole. Originality. My biggest problem with hip hop today is that and I don't know if you guys share this opinion, but I can't really tell who's who now when I hear it. I think one of the things that hip hop was built off was originality, right? Like you couldn't be a biking ass MC. You couldn't sound like the next motherfucker. So now with the advent of like auto-tune and whatever the case may be, it's kind of difficult to really decipher for me who's who. And these rappers nowadays are not really lasting that long. A lot of these guys is like a fart in the wind, and not really transcending time. I think there's a few things that we gotta look at from a point of view. Do y'all feel that if a rapper ever had a ghostwriter, that they should ever be in the top 10? What's your opinion?
I'm not gonna say ever, but it's the song that you've known by, like your most favorite song. If that song is ghost written, I what you want me to do with that? What you want me to do with that? Like Kwame, like most people don't know, Kwame is still in the game. He's the ghostwriter for most of these rappers out there. I've always, Kwame is like probably one of my favorite rappers when he was back then. I always vibe with Kwame. Most people don't even know he's the ghostwriter for most of these youngins out here. I probably can't even mention a rapper in the new age besides Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole. Like, I can't. The ignorance is bliss. I can't. I refuse to. It drives it, just to even think about listening to it drives me crazy.
For me, you can be a great MC if you had a ghostwriter. I don't think that eliminates you from being a great MC. But I can't have you in my top 10 if you have a ghostwriter. Like, I
can't do that.
I can't do that. That's not where I came from.
Neither do I.
So if you got people writing your rhymes for you, I mean, and we have to also understand that sometimes people get a credit for writing a hook or whatever the case may be. You know, some people are more talented at dropping a hook or, you know, whatever that is. But I'm sorry, you cannot be in my top 10 if you have employed a ghostwriter, or if I know that you've employed a ghostwriter. I'm going to tell, and this is probably going to get me in trouble with Ski, but I eliminated Jay-Z from my top 10. And the reason why I eliminated Jay-Z from my top 10, because he did something that violates the era that he came from. 99 problems, but a bitch ain't one.
Oh.
That's not your shit, cuz. That's not your shit.
Stole it. Nope.
You took that from Ice-T.
Yep.
When those white folks asked you, where did you get that from? They specifically asked him where he got that from. He never gave the credit to Ice-T. Lil Wayne, I can't have you in my top 10. Because when I first heard you, you was going wobbly 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 wop. Then you got introduced to Gilly. Now you become super lyrical. Like we don't know where that came from.
Exactly.
Right? So he's to me, he's definitely in my top 15.
Wait, so I'll say this though, Jay, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's be clear about it. He wasn't doing the numbers when he first came out until he kind of switched his flow up. Like he really wasn't doing the numbers like that. So that was beneficial to him to switch his flow up and be the kind of rapper that he is now. So, I mean, when you're first coming out, you got, you'll have a hot song, but if you want longevity and you realize that you ain't doing numbers the way you going, you gotta change something up. You can't just keep it the same.
I give him super credit. I'm a fan of Lil Wayne. Like I really am a fan of his. I give him credit for the way he has, mastered his craft. He's obviously he worked at his craft. Drake will not be in my top 10.
You need to cut that fucking hair off though. Shit.
Drake is not in my top 10. And I don't really give a shit, to be honest with you, about how many albums you sold. I factor it in,
that part.
But I really don't put a whole lot of weight to it. Because there's people that sold a lot of albums that had literally no lyrics whatsoever. Like Uncle Luke, what's your birthday? It's your birthday.
Which is an amazing song, by the way.
Which is a classic, right? It's a classic, right? What's that number one Zodiac sign? Yeah.
Hold on. Isn't Busta Move still like the number one single album, Busta Move by Young MC? He's still getting paid off of that song.
The one hit wonder.
Still getting paid off of it.
I mean, we could dive into all of that, but I'm just telling y'all, when I made my list, I factored in a few things. And one of the things that I really struggled with was somehow to put, I didn't, you know, depending on where you grew up, there's certain biases that we have, right? Is reference to people who was popping in your area. You know what I'm saying? Lyrically, I think I've never heard anybody that can match Black Thought. So I'm with Ski on that. Like, literally, Black Thought dropped the hottest freestyle in the history of rap. Black Thought. 17, well, how long was it, Ski? 14 minutes?
You on mute.
Oh, he on mute. You know, 17 minutes of nothing but unadulterated bar after bar after bar. I mean, you literally have to play it back to either catch all the shit that he's saying.
Yeah, it was like 8, yeah. But Black Thought, when I put him on the list, I think about his guest features. Has he ever been burnt on the guest features? No.
No, but here's the thing that told me how great he was. They offered Jay-Z an opportunity to get on a song with Black Thought and he wouldn't do it. That should let you know. Anytime held a whole record company down by yourself, I'm gonna have to give you that. So I actually replaced Slick Rick. He went down to number 11, and I had to replace Slick Rick with LL Cool J. It's no way possible I couldn't have LL in my top 10.
My list.
So
yeah,
my top
he's
10,
on mine.
Number 10 will be Scarface. Number 9, DMX. Number 8, LL Cool J. Number 7, Tupac. Number 6, Rakim. Number 5, Snoop. Number 4, Nas. Number 3, Ice Cube. Number 2, Biggie. And my number 1 MC of all time is KRS-One. KRS-One. And the reason why I give him the number 1 slot is because I watched a 50-something-year-old old man get on a stage, completely control the crowd. Completely control the crowd. And there's nobody who's more of a thorough historian of the game than KRS. He teaches this in college classes from an aspect of the different, from breaking to graffiti to DJing to MCing. Like, he breaks it all the way down, and he stayed on that. Every time he comes in town, I always make sure that I see him. And he's never changed his rap flow or style, and it is just as relevant today as it was the first time I heard him in 1986.